Hey everyone, just before we begin, this video is a re-edited upload of a reaction from our previous and now deleted channel, so please check that you subscribe to this new channel here, enjoy the review, and we look forward to seeing you in some new material coming very soon. Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where today I'm going to be checking out a band who, if you've been following these videos, you know I really like this band. The whole point of this channel is that I try to be critical. I don't just kiss everything's ass, as I always tell you, but this band has played a lot to what I like. And this is WAGAKKI band, as you've already seen if you clicked on the link, and it's a song by WAGAKKI band, which I should have checked the title before I loaded this up, shouldn't I? Oh well, it doesn't matter, you've already seen the title on the top of the video anyway. So basically, so far, I think I've heard 5 songs by them, and I've in differing ways loved every single one of them. They just play to the things I like. I love the sound of traditional Japanese music. I love hard rock. I love bands who can play around with styles and fuse more. They don't just fuse those two things together. They also go into different things. As I was saying before, songs like Synchronicity, where they go into jazz, and then they've got somewhere we're going more punky, and they've got somewhere they're going more into the sort of cinematic sound. They seem to be able to play around with everything. So they're really getting to win over my bias, and we're going to hear a new song by them now, so let's go. Brilliant, again, really good. I guess let's try and critique. Like I say, I always start by trying to be as harsh as I can. This band just, it's like someone's created a band that is exactly what I would, if I was asked to write down what would be a perfect band for me, it would basically be this, and they've just gone and done it. So if I was to critique it, okay, this one is probably a good example of them not pushing themselves stylistically wise. I mean, like I say, sometimes they fuse in styles from, other sort of styles come in. Maybe, like I say, they've had songs which have been more cinematic, songs which have been more hard rock, songs that have been a bit more jazzy, songs that have been more sort of wistful and almost ballad-like. This one is perhaps a little bit more just straight down the middle, just kind of what they do, sort of medium to fast tempo, got a rock sort of infused style to it. But yeah, is that a criticism? I don't really think it is. So let's just get on to the compliments, because most of this is going to be compliments, unfortunately. I do feel slightly sick when I have nothing negative to say. I might have a mental problem by the sound of it. But yes, I love to be negative. So basically, just talking about the song and analysing what was good about it, therefore, it had a really good hook, really good chorus, which, like I said, some of their songs have had stronger hooks than others. Usually the actual arrangement is so fantastic that I don't really care too much about the hook anyway. It's not like the sort of band where you particularly go, okay, you need to have a hook. It's not like, something like, maybe most of the time I'd say things like Perfume, or a poppier band, or hard rock bands like Bandmade. Those are sort of groups where you look for a big hook a lot of the time. This, they don't need it so much, but they do often deliver, and this was a really good hook in the sort of, like I say, it went towards a more traditional Japanese style of writing. The melody, the way that the melody moved, the sort of scale that it went through, was more indicative of that like old school Japanese style of writing. And in fact, that kind of made me think, because in a lot of ways, Japanese pop music and rock music and just modern contemporary music has gone through that phase where now it's slowly becoming more Western, unfortunately, in a lot of ways. I always kind of say that pop music as a general, it's like the way that cars have evolved over time to slowly become more and more aerodynamic. It's the road of least resistance. Pop music in any country, as it's the music that is popular, slowly always comes into the centre of being as simple as it can, fitting to that sort of major scale, or having that certain arrangement that is always most poppy. So as a result, a lot of modern Asian music, K-pop especially, but J-pop too, they are moving more towards that, as just trying to find the most efficient way of writing a pop song that everyone's going to like, but probably has the least personality. So when you hear something like this, it stands out a lot because it's very catchy, but without breaking it down too much to those oversimplified styles of writing that can deliver you an easy hook. They've actually really written an interesting song into it as well. And I was going to say that because of the way that Japanese music has evolved, I don't really watch much anime, but because anime theme tunes have always been a big thing, especially as part of pop music. So if you listen to a lot of old anime theme tunes, which I do more than I watch anime, then you get a feel for where how pop music has evolved in the country. And over here, you listen to the older pop songs, and they do have more of a infusing of sort of more Japanese scales into them. So in a way, I was listening to this thinking this almost sounds like an old anime theme tune, the way it's written, maybe more than the way it's recorded, but it has that old style of melody and chord pattern and the way it flows. But anyway, moving on from that, because I'm sure you could all pretty much tell that for yourselves. Going back to the main thing that I always say, which is their style, the way that they deliver things. It used, as they always do, I'm sort of almost loath to call it style, because what they do is they throw in everything. They throw everything at the wall and somehow manage to make it stick, and somehow manage to give everything room to breathe as well. It's not just like a wall of sound where everything's cluttered together. Everything seems to have its function and work perfectly. And this one was quite interesting because it did, in that it had a fantastic bridge, as they often do, with lots of little steps and changes to it. But there was that fantastic section, especially where every instrument had a solo. But by solo, I mean like a sort of a 2-bar solo, like a very tiny little bit. And it was brilliant. It went for the lead guitar, the koto, the shamisen, shakuhachi. There was even some other things in it. It was brilliant that way that worked. They had the small taiko drum. If it's a small one, it's not called a taiko, is it? It's got a different name. But that was really well done, how they added that to the rhythm, but it didn't push too much. It was just there to sort of carry that da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da sort of rhythm that it had in there. And that rhythm kind of reminded me of almost like a football chant. I guess if you're American, you'd call it a soccer chant, although you probably have chants in your football as well. But like a football chant of like a where you can have some sort of limerick or poem or offensive set of rhyming words going along to it. So it had everything. It had that chanting big quality, which is why I think you had the big video. It had all of the instruments, once again, had room to breathe and were fantastically played, and the sounds were brilliant. Sometimes they were in between each other, sometimes they were all together. It moved brilliantly. It had a wonderful big hook. I could go on talking about this song and this band for probably a lot longer than anyone would want to hear me do so. So as a result, I'm going to wrap it up by saying you've pretty much heard everything I think there. I haven't got much to critique. This doesn't exactly, this doesn't tell me anything I didn't know about the band before. It doesn't show me anything new that I haven't seen them already do, but it does demonstrate that it's like if someone does I can't think of an example, but if someone did an absolutely amazing magic trick, you'd be happy to watch it again, just because the amazement would still be that high. This is probably a bad example. This is such a fantastic thing that they do, that watching them repeat it a second time, I'm not going to complain about that. So very happy to hear it. Fantastic stuff. And I am looking forward to hearing more, so keep the suggestions coming. I know that I'm biased towards this band just because of the sound that they're using, but honestly, fantastic stuff. So for now, from Japan,